We're doing well. Everyone's doing good.
Doing great.
Yeah.
Super.
Yeah, got a good night's sleep. Feeling great.
You did? Did you take anything for that? Yeah.
Alcohol.
Alcohol.
Yeah.
Pill form.
Well, you guys, your schedule must be nuts, though, is it? You guys going and coming at all different times?
It's a combination of complete insanity combined with just kind of complete hurry up and wait. So it's a mixture of both. Yeah.
Now, the new album comes out in November. Am I correct with that?
It's, you know what? We're actually literally waiting on a release date from our label right now. So we're not sure. We know all we've been told so far, November was the goal, and we've been told this winter. So that could be.
Well, explain that to me then, because people listening may not get this. One Republic here in the studio talking to Ryan right now. What goes into the process of trying to find out when your album comes out?
Oh my gosh! Well, there's so many elements. Because we've released an album at the right time, and we've also released an album at the wrong time. We've experienced both sides of the coin, and this is the thing that people who just buy albums or are fans of our band or artists in general never realize. There's like probably somewhere around 100 moving parts worldwide that go into an album release. So you have to factor in, okay, is the UK, because now, back in the day, and I say back in the day meaning like 10 years ago, let's say, before we even were putting out albums, you could say, okay, America is going to be ready for the album in November, but we know that Australia won't be ready until March, and we know the UK will be ready in January. And you would pace out your album release because you didn't have the internet blasting everything you put out every second.
Yeah.
So now, which was actually really advantageous for bands, because guess what happens when you put an album out everywhere at the same time? You can't be everywhere at the same time.
Right.
So you've got Germany screaming at you because you're missing the biggest television show in Germany, and you can't be there to promote it. But we're like, for instance,
so scary in German.
Like we're facing a situation now between a big U.S. television show coming up in a month or a month and a half, and a big German TV show, and you have to look at and say, well, we're going to end up screwing one of those two markets where we just can't do it.
Which is not your intent.
No.
And you want the money, you want the album sales, you want the fame and everything goes along with it, and you enjoy people buying your music, but you just can't be everywhere at one time.
You can't be everywhere at one time. And so for us, it comes down to asking every single part of the world that we're putting the album out on, which is everywhere, saying, what's the ideal time for you guys? And, we initially announced November 19th, and then we got a big pushback from a couple other major countries saying, we won't be ready then, and you will literally hurt us in this market if you put an album out in November.
I had no idea the pressure on that and how much you guys go through trying to figure that stuff out.
It was way easier before the internet, and I wasn't putting albums out before the internet. I'm an internet kid, but
well, hey, who's the U.S. show? Who's the one that you're talking about here? You can tell me. No, totally. I'm not going to tweet it. I'm not going to Facebook.
We're not going to broadcast this.
No, the German show I know. That's Ich bin ein Americana.
So you are fluent, apparently.
Do we find, and I was reading some past interviews you guys have done and stuff, and you had talked about the duality that you experience as, an artist and also as a member of a band and stuff. What do people want right now? Do they want the up-tempo records? Do they want the ballads? Because we talk about so many different radio forms in different countries. What does American radio want?
What does American radio want? That's an interesting question. If nobody knows, there's only a couple of guys that know that, and they're like Dr. Luke and Max Martin, and the two biggest songwriters in the world.
Yeah, I think you're wrong there.
Well, I'll put it this way: whether they know it or not, it's kind of like what comes first, the chicken or the egg. Like if you present something to people in an interesting, pretty package that creates a want. It creates a desire. Oh, I want to see that. I want that. Whatever. There's. That kind of question really does have like a million different answers. I'm not sure what they want, but I know what I want. I want honesty, and I want lyrics. I love EDM. Like I went to Coachella this year, and I actually performed with Sebastian Grosser from Swedish House Mafia and watched their set, and their set blew away everybody. And by everybody, I mean everybody. I saw Radiohead the next day in Bon Iver, and Swedish House Mafia stole Coachella.
Okay.
And so I get up-tempo, the whole dance movement, because it's finally hooked me, and I love it. But clearly that's not what we are. And I think in the world of, at least with radio, I think what people want the most is different. They want unique. They want something that doesn't sound like 90% of what's out there, because as you know, and I don't have to name names, there are so many songs right now that are so similar because they're being done by the same two or three guys. And so the same sounds.
But in some respect, though, that is you, because if I look down your list, and not to say that sound or something you're saying there, but if I look down your list, and a lot of people listen to radio, so one of the things I want to get to, because I think it's fantastic, they don't know that you've had your fingers in the pie, so to speak. Kind of a weird saying. Jennifer Lopez,
I've been fingering
Adele,
pies for a long time.
Yeah, Beyonce, B.O.B., Kelly Clarkson, Far East, Adam Lambert, Sparks, DeGraw, Cook, Lovato, Maroon 5, Gym Class, Paul Oakenfold. I mean, that list, dude, that's pretty heavy. So you are there. If you don't know what people want to hear on the radio, I'm not sure who really is going to know because you're writing these things.
Well, a lot of it, if you're talking about like current, like in the last couple of years, the vast majority of the songs, yeah, I have worked with a ton of artists, but the vast majority of what you're hearing are, up-tempo pop, kind of very saccharine, but very catchy, infectious songs. I mean, you could call radio right now almost the era of guilty pleasure. But it's not, some people would say, well, it's nothing guilty about it if that's what you love. And if you talk to any writers, I think the ones who are successful, whether they're artists or just professional songwriters, they're doing what they love. And really the only thing you can do, for me, if we put out a song or I do a song for Gavin DeGraw or Adele or whatever, like that song at that moment is what I want to hear. And so that's the only thing I know. The only thing I know is what I want to hear. And I'm just lucky and we're blessed enough that what we want to hear as a band, I think what success with music is that weird intersection of what you want to hear and what you want to play somehow coincides with what millions of people want to hear.
Okay, I want to take... It's Valentine in the Morning. Guys from One Republic hang out in the studio. I put Ryan kind of in a hot seat here. I'm not going to let you touch this question. The guys can answer this. Eddie, Zach, and Drew. There's a song that Ryan penned, and you guys know it because it's in your head. I can see it in your faces right now, that he penned for somebody else, and you said, expletive, why didn't you keep that for One Republic?
Who bestinks the reason?
Okay.
That was the one.
That was the one, really. Yeah. Ding, 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 ding. What was the note? Was it the first 37 notes? Are they exactly the same?
Pretty much.
Down, down, down.
Pretty much.
Okay. Now, be serious. What do you guys have?
Yeah, man, that's kind of tough. I don't know. You do a really good job at kind of separating it. I think, if anything, we've got this habit of writing a ton of songs for each record, maybe like 2 or 3 times what we would need, and then kind of only picking the best. And so there was one song on the record that I think probably isn't going to make it on, that we were all really jazzed about.
Yeah, I know which one you're talking about.
Yeah, because it sounded like... It was really. It sounded like Whitney Houston.
Okay.
And like.
So it wasn't right
and
for
like
you guys,
Air
maybe.
And all this. I mean, it sounded like it was our favorite song, but at the end of the day, it kind of didn't really fit.
All right, so it's going to go to somebody else.
It's going to go to someone else. Yeah.
Can you give me just like a smidgest of a sample of lyrically what that is at the hook, at the chorus?
Yeah.
Just because I'm curious now.
Yeah. The chorus was "I can't stop thinking." It's very Prince. The record is very. It's this record that I did that not for us. I just one day sat down and did this weird kind of thing where I was listening to James Blake at the time.
Okay.
So who's this kind of more avant-garde British artist, and I was listening to him and I was like channeling Prince, who I channel a lot, and James Blake, and did it for somebody else. Then an A&R guy at another label, a friend of mine, was like, "You're insane if you don't keep this for yourself."
Right.
So then we worked it up a little bit, worked on it. As the album evolved, it kind of clearly became more and more like the odd, weird stepchild that just didn't belong. As good as it was, we had other songs.
Didn't fit for this album.
Didn't fit. We had other songs that I felt were as strong, and we felt were as strong. I mean, I don't know that. Like Drew said, I've always tried to be very hyper focused on not doing anything for someone else that could be huge for us. My record label might disagree. I mean, Jimmy Iovine, I think, wishes that we have put out every song that I've ever done for. He's like, why didn't you do?
Why'd you give it to somebody else?
Yeah, why did you give Halo to Beyonce? I'm like, and like, I don't think at this point. Now at this point, I'm very open to. I understand that, like, having a successful record, a successful album, or quote unquote hits. Like, you can't take it for granted. It still is, to me, very lucky. I don't know what I'm doing. Like, it literally, I know that sounds crazy, but it feels like capturing lightning in a bottle, and you want to capture it before it gets out, or a lightning bug or something. And you're like, you don't want it to die out before people see it. And,
so in essence, then, to what I'm hearing is, and to you guys, you keep your best stuff. That's for One Republic.
Yes, 100% of the time.
Right.
100% of the time. And I've the only song that I've ever done for anybody else that I was kind of jealous of, Already Gone, Kelly Clarkson, to me was like one of those where I'm like, I could have sang that, you know, and
Yeah, that's a good one, man.
and
Should have kept it, man.
Should have kept it.
Adele.
Kelly's a friend too. I love her. Little girl from Crowley, Texas, that area, Burleson.
Yeah. She's phenomenal.
That's a good song.
I'm jealous of Rumor Has It, but that makes more sense on Adele than for us, and that would have sounded ridiculous for us to do it.
Darn, man. I got to let you guys get out of here because I know you got a ton of stuff, your schedules and everything. But I really come back again when you come back because I want to talk more to you guys. I really enjoy this interview.
Can we wear pants the next time we come in here?
No, that's like a prerequisite. You can't.
All right.
Yeah.
This is getting weird and like it's
that's
freezing in
my
here.
rider.
This is the second to last time.
This is the second to last time we're going to do this without pants.
One Republic. Thanks, guys.
Big.